Spirit of God is upon us. We come together to behold power of love, power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up your hands, lift up your hearts, lift up your vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold power of love, power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up your hands, lift up your hearts, lift up your vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold power of love, power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up your hands, lift up your hearts, lift up your vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face, see God in every face.
Good morning. Great start to the morning. Thank you for joining Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center's virtual Sunday service. My name is Mark Sowell. I'll be serving as your host today. Today we welcome back guest musician Therese Schutte. Thanks for joining us this morning, Therese. We appreciate the addition of your musical enthusiasm to our service. It may be a while before we return to our beautiful center. In the meantime, we greatly appreciate our speakers and musicians who are willing to join us on Zoom. If you'd like to be added to the electronic newsletter called the Weekly Buzz, to stay updated, you can opt into our website at unityofthevalley.mn.org or email us at info@unityofthevalley.mn.org. Excuse me, I'm going to get to that slide. There it is. I'm out of order. Sorry about that. Likewise, if you have a prayer request for our prayer chaplains, you may submit it at the same email address or ask for a prayer chaplain to call you. We also encourage you to subscribe to our Unity of the Valley YouTube channel, to like our Unity of the Valley Facebook page, and to visit our unityofthevalley.mn.org page to learn more about us. A couple slides which you might have already seen. Thought I'd show you. Can we all agree that in 2015, not a single person got the answer correct to where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I think that's safe to say. And a quick shameless plug for me on the for North Shore Advertising. I just got back, as many of you may know, from my trip up north, and man, if you haven't been up there, you got to go up there. It's just nature is awesome. So. We are blessed to have several volunteers who make this service happen digitally each Sunday. Let me introduce you to those who are sharing their talents this morning. George Kotars is serving as our daily word reader. Catherine Belai will be delivering the prayer box blessing and leading our affirmations. Special thanks to Deanna Reese, who's in charge of the slides, and John Ruddy, who's the wizard behind the scenes, who handles the audio and video controls for Facebook Live and Zoom recordings. We appreciate everybody's unique contribution to our service. A few reminders. Unless you have a role in today's service, please do keep your microphone on mute until the end. Likewise, if you're going to be multitasking while you watch the service, please do turn off your video so not to distract the other viewers. Those controls are in the lower left corner of your Zoom screen. Finally, please refrain from using the chat feature during the service as it distracts from the music and the message. We invite you to get comfortable, tune out any distractions, and let in the love and light. After the service, you're welcome to stay on to say hello to other Unity members and guests during our online social time. Your mics will then be unmuted. I'd like to now introduce our speakers so as not to interrupt the flow of our meditation time. Today, it's our honor to welcome back Debra Engle. Debra has given a talk and several workshops for us, and she will be offering another one this coming Wednesday, which I'll tell you about during the announcements. Debra has a rare wisdom in part from studying the renowned A Course in Miracles for the past 30 years, and she's now a teacher of the Course. She has written 4 books, including the #1 bestseller, The Only Little Prayer You Need, featuring a foreword by the Dalai Lama. Her second book, Let Your Spirit Guide Speak, received a Nautilus Award honoring Better Books for a Better World. Debra's third book, Be the Light That You Are, also won a Nautilus Silver Award. Her latest book, a novel titled 20, deals with loss and hope in midlife and includes an element of mystery. It too is an Amazon #1 bestseller. It probably won't surprise you that Deb mentors writers, helping them develop books that matter. Debra, we're thankful you can be with us today, and we look forward to hearing your meditation and your message titled The Power of One. At this time, we'd like to welcome anyone who's watching our Zoom broadcast for the first time. Please do join me in this special blessing. We offer you peace, love, and friendship. We bless you, and we're glad you're here. It's now time for the daily reading of the reading of the daily word, followed by the blessing of the prayer box and the reading of our affirmations.
Good morning. The daily word for today, Sunday, August 23rd, is inner peace. The peace of God fills my mind, my heart, and my life. Quiet moments in a fragrant garden, a stroll by a lake or stream, or a visit to any place of beauty inspires a deep awareness of peace. I also enjoy peace in the company of friends, those with whom I have easy camaraderie and deep bonds. Growing in spiritual awareness, I claim inner peace wherever I am. True inner peace comes from deep within me. If I am feeling less than peaceful, I pause and breathe out worry, fear, and unhealthy concern. Giving my full attention to the deep divine presence within me, I breathe in a peace that soothes my emotions, calms my thoughts, and relaxes my body. As I continue to inhale peace and exhale concern, I move with renewed clarity and confidence. Those of steadfast mind you keep in peace they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. The word for today is inner peace. Namaste.
I'm going to play the Tibetan bells for you before I do the prayer box. Our prayer box today holds an infinite number of virtual prayers. So I invite you to silently add your own name and the names of anyone in your heart or on your mind who may need prayer support. These virtual prayers are known and will be addressed by the infinite. We know the truth behind all appearance of disharmony is the divine and perfect presence of the infinite, which we call God, Spirit, or Source. We call forth within all people the wisdom and strength, the love and peace, the wholeness and vitality of this perfect presence. We affirm that the requests in our prayer box and in our hearts and on our minds are being resolved in divine timing for the highest good of all concerned. We send love and light not only to these people and circumstances, but to our community, our country, and our world. May the love of God enfold us. May the peace of God uphold us. May the wisdom of God inspire us and help us to know in our hearts that all is well. And so it is. And please join me in our affirmation for today, August 23rd, 2020. To rise above complexities and chaos, I choose to use the power of one, making peace of mind my only goal. And our affirmation for our spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity of the Valley is a prosperous, thriving, inspired, connected community. We are growing spiritually and manifesting our dreams and goals in an energy of love, peace, and joy.
Are you out there, Therese?
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. One. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
For our meditation today, I'd invite all of you to get comfortable exactly where you're sitting. Wriggle around just a little bit in your seat if you need to find that very comfortable spot. Close your eyes, and then take in a big, big breath. Let it out with a sigh. Take in another big breath. And exhale. And once again, big breath in. And let it go. Feel your body automatically relaxing with those deep breaths. Feel any tension or stress melting away. And let yourself turn within, connecting with the tranquility and the peace and the stillness and quiet within. And now, in your mind's eye, I invite you to simply bring to mind anything that seems complex in your life. Decisions, relationships, expectations. And as they come to mind, just see yourself setting them very gently in front of you, without any judgment, without any evaluation. Simply letting them gather. Could be any hardships that you've had, any challenges that you're facing. Anything that seems difficult or overwhelming, just see it all gathered in front of you. And as you do, feel the release of knowing that you are going to let go of all of these complexities, that there's no need to hold on to them, that in fact, they don't even belong to you. And that now is the moment when you get to hand them over to Spirit. Ask for all of them to be blessed and used for the highest good. And know that as Spirit carries them away, you are released. Released from carrying those decisions and judgments and expectations and complexities. And in their place, allow yourself to feel in your mind, your heart, your soul, a sense of rest, and peace, and trust, knowing that underneath all of those many, many things that were competing for your attention, there is just one thing, one love. One light. One Spirit. Know that as you go on through your day, you can rest in this place of peace and relaxation and celebration, knowing that there is nothing for you to do except to focus on that one love and trust that all else is being used for your good. Now take in a big, big breath. Let it out with a sigh. Take in one more big breath and let it go. Take a moment to express gratitude for that one love within you, within all of us, within this world. And so it is. Amen.
The song I wrote called Sanctuary. the sanctuary of my heart, I find truth. In the sanctuary of my heart, I am whole. In the sanctuary of my heart, I find light, the light of God, the light of love, my beloved. We are one. In the sanctuary of your heart, you find truth. In the sanctuary of your heart, you are whole. In the sanctuary of your heart, you find light, the light of God, the light of love, my beloved. We are one. In the sanctuary of our hearts, so be it so. In the sanctuary of our hearts, we will grow. In the sanctuary of our hearts, we are one, one with God, one with love, my beloved. We are one.
Thank you so much, Therese, not only for the beautiful music, but the perfect music and an original song that just matches so well what we're talking about today. As you can tell from the title of today's talk, The Power of One, and hopefully from the meditation too, what we're going to be talking about for the next few minutes is the complexity of life and how we can move from that complexity to remembering the one, the sanctuary of our heart, the one spirit, the one love, the one joy that flows through all of us. I thought I would start today by telling you something, sharing with you something that to me is just kind of unbelievable. And I think it's always interesting to hear other people's stories and how they can either inspire us or make us feel tired. So this is my little sharing to start off the talk today. I have a friend, Tom, who had his 66th birthday yesterday. And Tom is a person who is just filled with energy. Honestly, I'm not sure that I've ever seen a more energetic person before. So yesterday I found out that in order to celebrate his birthday, today he is running 50 miles. That's 50. And I know that this is something that he's been working up to for a long, long time. And he just has so much energy flowing through him that if anybody could run 50 miles, it would be him. But I'm thinking about all of the people who run marathons and who are exhausted after one marathon, let alone running almost the equivalent of two. Now, I'm not sure if he has any goals in mind for how quickly he wants to do this, how much time he's got to get it accomplished in, but just the idea that he would come up with that goal so intrigued me. So I wanted to think about where would a goal like that come from? Because here's the thing, there are a whole lot of goals in our lives, right? Every single one of us has goals for our families and for our work and our finances and the world. And how do we sort through all of those different goals, all of those different decisions, and come up with any one decision, whether it's running 50 miles on your 66th birthday or it's choosing what sort of cereal to eat in the morning. Because here's the thing, what we know is that this life has become so complex. Every time I walk into the grocery store aisle and I see, 30 or 40 feet rows of cereals to choose from. Or back in the day when my husband and I were traveling a lot, back just a few months ago, and we'd go to a hotel room and turn on the TV and there'd be, 200 different channels. You think of all of the voices that we hear throughout all of the day, every single day, all of the different points of view. It is daunting and overwhelming to think of how much we are barraged by every day in terms of what is our goal, what's our job, what's our function, what's our purpose, what's our choice. And within that complexity, all of these different things that we could choose something pretty big and significant, like running 50 miles in one day, or we could choose what sort of cereal we're going to have, whether it's going to be Raisin Bran or Wheaties. It doesn't really matter the weight of the decision that we have to make. It's just that there's so many things to decide among and from. I think this is why we have, part of the reason at least, why we have so much depression and fatigue in the world, especially right now with the pandemic, which seems unending. It's easier to work with something that's a challenge if we know that there's an end date, if we know that at some point it's going to be over and we can plan for that. But when we're in a world this year where we really don't know when things will go back to some sense of normal, and when we keep confronting new challenges every day in the way of storms and political divides and all of the things that are happening in our world, it is easy to get so overwhelmed to think, how do I navigate through this? Do I go left or right? Do I go up or down? Do I hide in my house, or do I go out with a mask or without a mask? Or who do I talk to and what do I think? And the reason that I think it becomes so fatiguing and overwhelming for us is simply because it's as though our foundation is always shifting. It's the shifting sand. It's like we have built our house upon that shifting sand. And with every person that we talk to, every article we read on the internet, every voice that we hear on TV, every friend that we speak to, every decision that we have to make in the grocery store, it seems as though there's some new weighty decision that's changing, because we're always looking for information outside of ourselves to make those decisions and choosing among literally thousands or millions of different things. So what if we could strip away all of that complexity? What if we could truly say, as we did in the meditation, I'm going to take all of these situations, relationships, decisions, judgments, expectations, I'm just going to put them all out there, Spirit, and hand them over to you. And I am going to turn within to one thing, to the power of one. I'm going to turn to one job, one function, one purpose, one goal, and one choice. I'm going to make it as simple and as easy as I possibly can. And every single day, I'm going to come back to that one and make each day simpler than the day before. As I say those words, I can feel lighter. I can feel more refreshed, more relaxed. And hopefully maybe you're feeling a little bit of that too. Because the thing is that it's so easy to get caught up in all of this chaos and confusion and complexity of the world. And we think maybe it's hard to find that inner peace. But as we know, every time we meditate, every time we get quiet, every time we go to that sanctuary of the heart that Therese sang about and wrote about, we discover that it's not difficult at all. All we need to do is to go back to the one spirit, the one source. And from that, then we will know our one joy, our job, purpose, function, goal, and choice in life. So let's walk through these just a little bit and talk about each of those different things in a little bit more detail. Our one job, what if we could go inside and ask Spirit, ask our higher self, what is my one job? Here again, it can seem like, if you're in the stage of life where you're trying to find a job or change your career, or establish a career, or decide what to study. There are so many jobs out there. How could you possibly choose? Well, what if we just go inside and we ask Spirit and Source and our high self, what is my one job? And the answer to that question is, it's love. That is your only job. I experienced this for myself back a few years ago when a friend of mine was going through a pretty tough time. And her husband, she and her husband owned an agency, and her husband had passed away. So she needed someone to come in and help pick up the workload and just help keep some of those projects moving. So she asked me if I would kind of take this on as a temporary contract. And I said, yes, of course I would do that. It was so interesting because the first few days, I was going into the office and I felt like my job is to get a lot of work done. My job is to finish up as many projects as I can and to alleviate, that to-do list that she was facing, because she was in a time of great grief. She was mourning. But what I quickly discovered was that, of course, everybody in the office was mourning the loss of their boss, of their friend, of their mentor. And so, yes, the work needed to get done. The projects needed to get crossed off the list. But more than anything, what I heard my spirit guides tell me is your job is to go in and just bring as much light to that office as you possibly can. Show up in light and in love. And then absolutely the work will get done too, but your primary goal, your first job, is to be the love that you are and share that with others. That was such a learning moment for me, and it really helped every day after that. I ended up working there for close to a year, and every day as I walked into the office, I would think to myself and say to Spirit, Source, and my guides, help me to do my job today, to be the greatest love, to bring the greatest love to this situation that I possibly can. And what I found that was that as I did that, situations that could have been very complex, old hurts within that office, old kind of territorial arguments that had been there for a long time, just started to kind of fade away. It wasn't me, it was me allowing the power of one source, of one love to flow through me, and to ask for that to be used by everybody in the office, to be used for the highest good, and to touch every single soul there. And I do feel as though over time, that office was transformed. Again, not because of me, but because of just being a conduit, just being a vessel, and intentionally asking for love to come into that situation. That's really our job, is just to show up in love and trust that everything we do, all of the actions that come from that, then will be used for the highest good to bring people together rather than to keep them or tear them apart. So going inside, what's our one job? To be love, to share love. Okay, so what's our one goal then? I mentioned my friend Tom running 50 miles in celebration of his 66th birthday, which, I will tell you, I've done a lot of walking in my life. I don't know that I've run 50 miles in my whole lifetime. So this is just kind of an incredible concept to me. But this was his goal, to do this. And I have to think that underneath the goal of the action, of the planning for mile after mile after mile, choosing the right shoes, choosing the right running wear, choosing the place and the time, all of those choices and decisions that he had to make, knowing Tom, there is one goal underneath this goal to run. And it's the same goal that really he has for everything. It's the same goal that all of us can have for everything. And that is to always live with the peace of God, the peace of mind within us. That, when we have that as our goal, it's amazing how much simpler everything else becomes. Now, instead of doing tons of planning and having to make lots of decisions about, again, running 50 miles or choosing your favorite cereal, it's not about all of those material things. It's not about thinking, oh, I might make a mistake, second guessing yourself, wondering what somebody else would do, thinking maybe I should do it differently. It's not any of those things. You just go inside yourself and you say, I have one goal always, always. That one goal is my peace of mind. To remember that I am one with God, that I am love and light flowing through me and into this world. And so if I'm in the grocery store aisle, it seems so silly. It seems like choosing cereal would be, the most frivolous, kind of silliest decision that we have to make. But when we think of every decision coming from the place of my only goal is to maintain the peace of God within me, that even choosing a breakfast cereal becomes an exercise in self-love, in self-knowing, in trusting that maybe God and Source have more information about me than I have, and that I can tune in and say, what does my body need right now? My only goal is to have the peace of mind. And so I want my body to be healthy. I want my spirit to feel full. And so what do I need to put into my body? What would feel good right now to support that one goal of peace of mind? And when we ask, when we tune in, when we can become one with our heart, our body and soul, then the answer becomes easy. We just know, oh, that's what I need. And all of the complexity of the world seems to just start to fade away, because that's exactly what it's doing. Okay, so how about one purpose? I did a workshop just recently about knowing our purpose. What are we here for? And we talked about the fact that our one purpose in this life truly is just to be joyful. Now, I think even if you were on that workshop, even if you took part in that, it's worth revisiting for just a moment or two, because this is so big. The whole idea of joy, I think, has been so corrupted and so thwarted in this world by our small ego minds that want to keep us in a place of complexity and confusion and chaos, thinking that we're not good enough and we don't deserve to have joy. So when we go within, when we connect with the one source, the one love, the one peace, the one goal, the one high self that we are, that is connected to all things, we know that our purpose is so simple. It is just to show up in that joy and love that we are, and to not ever, ever, ever be afraid of joy, thinking that if we experience it, now it's going to be followed by something negative or a challenge. That's just a belief that a lot of people have thought over time, and so it seems to be a truth. But it's not a truth. It's just an extension of ego fear. And when we go inside and we say to our high selves in spirit, help me remember my one purpose is joy, then again, everything else, all of that shifting sand around us, fades away, and we feel the stability and the steadfastness of that rock, that strength, that power of one flowing through us. And it makes everything so simple. One of my favorite stories about this is a friend of mine who back several years ago did an exercise, kind of a personal growth exercise, where you think about all of the different roles that you play in your life. And so she had made a list of probably 50 different things: mother, friend, wife, employee, nurse, teacher. But then she got into the more esoteric roles that she plays in life. And one of them was the word joy maker. Well, in this exercise, you gradually start to winnow out or winnow down all of the different roles that you play until finally you come up with the one that really represents who you are at your core, your one purpose. She had a hard time taking away mother. That was the hardest one for her to narrow down or to take out of the equation. But she realized that underneath it all was joy maker, that is her definition of who she is. And so from that point on, every single day she would say to herself, I am a joy maker. That is my one purpose in life. And do you know what happened? This is the thing that I just think is so awesome in how our lives, spirit, and source, and energy work. As soon as she got clear about herself as a joy maker, and she started reaffirming that to herself every day, almost every day, somebody would say something to her like, oh, you are such a joy to be with, or, oh my gosh, we've only been talking for a few minutes, but you have lifted my spirits so much. Thank you for the joy that you bring into my life. all of a sudden the world was affirming for her what she knew to be true for herself, because she had found her one purpose and had affirmed it and knew that she was so fully aligned with it. So we've got our one job, being the light and love that you are. Our one goal, maintaining the peace of mind within our heart and soul and mind. Our one purpose, being the joy that we are. And so how do we get there? In every single day, every moment, we make one choice. This is really, truly the power of one. The one choice that we always can make and that we are asked to make over and over and over again is, are we going to choose fear in any situation, in any moment? Or are we going to choose love? There again, our ego will want it to be hard and complex. Well, what do you mean by fear-based thoughts? You know, what does that look like? And is this a fear-based thought or is it not? The truth is, we can tell very easily if something is coming from fear or if a thought is coming from love simply by how we feel. If you have any confusion about it at all, just go into that sanctuary of the heart that Therese wrote and sang about and check yourself there. Just ask, is this decision, is this choice coming from fear? Am I doing it because I think that I'm not enough and I'm trying to prove something in this world? Or I'm trying to defend myself against something that I think will be hard or difficult? Am I trying to make myself worthy so that someone will like me or I won't disappoint someone? Or because this is how I think I'm supposed to behave? You can feel the heaviness in that choice, in those thoughts. When you go to your heart sanctuary and you ask yourself, is this coming from love? Is this coming from the one power and source of light and peace and joy flowing through me and then out into the world to be used for the highest good? Am I being used in this moment to be a vehicle of healing in this world? When you feel that, you can feel it. You can feel the uplift. You feel that joy. You feel your purpose, your job, your function, your goal, all of it flowing through you. Because there it is. So simple, the power of one. So I think of my friend Tom this morning. He may be on, mile 10 or he may be on mile 22. I don't really know exactly where he is in this, but he is running that course today, I know, being fueled by love. He may also be being fueled by Gatorade and by carbs that he had last night. I don't really know. But I know that all of us, when we are doing something important, when we're doing something close to our hearts, when we're fulfilling our purpose and our sense of equilibrium, we're always being fueled by love. And it's that simple. Anytime that you have a question, what is my job? What is my purpose? My function, my goal, my choice? There is always just one answer. It is always love. So let it be that simple. Find even a small part of any complex situation in your life right now and just love that piece of it. As though you had planted a garden with 50 different plants and maybe the 50 plants seem overwhelming. Find one to just focus your love on and see it multiply, see it thrive and flourish, and everything else will benefit. Because that's how this works. And we all know it, that when we go inside and we start to put our focus on that love, it's like the loaves and the fishes. Our lives, our abundance, our joy, our influence, our personal peace, our harmony will all multiply 100 times over. So just go inside, find that love, and know that with today's affirmation, to rise above complexities and chaos, you can choose to use the power of one, making peace of mind your only goal. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Well, here's another original. Maybe it'll fit too. It's called Take My Hand. Take my hand, and walk with me. Take my hand, a vision we'll see. Walk with me to find the truth of loving together as one. Take my hand and walk with me. Take my hand, a vision we'll see. Walk with me to find the truth of loving together as one. Within your eyes I see a well of joy and peace. We share our love, our wealth, our truth, our everlasting faith. Take my hand and walk with me. Take my hand, a vision we'll see. Walk with me to find the truth of loving together as one. Walking through your door, I stepped into your heart. You showed me the path to my soul. You taught me to love. Take my hand and walk with me. Take my hand, a vision we'll see. Walk with me to find the truth of loving together as one. Intertwined with one another, we are all embraced by God, the one true power that makes us all one. My hand and walk with me. Take my hand, a vision we'll see. Walk with me to find the truth of living together, being together, and loving together as one.
Thank you, Therese. I love your original music, and I love that you sing with passion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, and Deborah, are we all ready to run 50 miles? What do you think? Not necessarily me, but I have. It's funny because I always take notes. I'm a note taker, and I'm looking back at some of my notes from the last few months, and I noticed that Deborah, for whenever she speaks, I have lots of notes for her. So she has lots of good information. I've always tried to leave things better that when I get involved with something than when I can't, when I leave, I want it to be better than when I came, and bring humor, as most of you guys know. And some of those are some of the things that I live by, which is really another version of what you're talking about, bringing joy to others and bringing love. I really like this. This really helps gets us centered for this. And I love your stories. I love how cool would it be to have others say, that person is such a joy to be around. I mean, that's something any of us can aspire to do. So thanks again for your wonderful talk. All right, in this time of COVID and Zoom, we still have considerable expenses to maintain our beautiful center in anticipation of our eventual return. All of us who are fond of and connected to Unity of the Valley are immensely grateful for your monetary contributions to keep our spiritual community going and thriving, as well as your participation in our services. We affirm the natural expansion of our own prosperity, as well as that of Unity of the Valley, as we give of our time, talents, and treasure with the high vibration of gratitude and an open heart. Let's read the love offering together, and then you'll have time during the musical interlude to consider your love offering. You may make your contribution after the service, either by mailing a check to the center or via the donate button on our website. Thank you in advance for your contributions. One second. So please join me in the love offering affirmation. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes. My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
Now I invite everyone to join me in blessing all contributions and good of any kind so generously given to support Unity of the Valley this week. Together, we affirm that God is our source and we are the channels. We bless these gifts given in love that serve our spiritual family and flow out into our community and beyond. We are prosperous and blessed with abundant good. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. We still have some fabulous events for you in August and more moving into September. I'll give you the basics, and please see the weekly buzz or our website for more details and the links to register for classes. Jeannie, our office guru, will also be sending out reminder emails for classes, so watch for those. First, remember that our 11 a.m. Tuesday morning guided meditation is broadcast live by one of our prayer chaplains each week on our Unity of the Valley Facebook page. Meditation is also held by Unity Village and other Unity centers at the same time, which adds to the power. Please join in. Then on Wednesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. Oops, I think we're out of order here, sorry. Let me just do this, all right. Debra Engle is presenting a workshop to follow up on her talk today called Simplifying Your Life with the Power of One. As you heard today, in our complex world, you can simplify your work, relationships, health, and finances by focusing on the power of one. This workshop will give you the practical tools and everyday applications you need to do that and live with joy and ease. Cost is only $15. Deb will also be our speaker next Sunday, the 30th, so put those dates on your calendar and show up in our friendly Zoom room. Moving into September, excitement is building for our Friday Night Light series. Beginning September 11th, Unity of the Valley will present a positive, uplifting series of New Thought concerts or talks every Friday night at 7 p.m. We've secured the talent of well-known award-winning musicians and speakers who are unable to perform live right now because of the pandemic, but are thrilled to be offering the opportunity to perform virtually for us. Our first performer is September 11th will be Gina Sitoli. Gina is an award-winning visionary songstress, performing artist, playwright, and composer. She has performed to standing ovations and rave reviews from New York to Vienna, from Sedona to Beverly Hills. And now she'll be performing for us. Wow. This series is bringing you the best. Enjoy these excellent performers and spread the word. Check out your weekly buzz or our website and watch for special announcements on our inspiring classes and events. Please now join me for the prayer for protection. The love of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And all is well. And for my quote of the week, no pessimist ever discovered the secret of the stars or sailed to an uncharted land or opened a new doorway for the human spirit. By Helen Keller. Thanks again for joining us. Be well and please stay connected with Unity. If you'd like to be part of our Zoom social after the service, stay logged in to this meeting and say hi to your Unity friends and guests. We'll conclude with Therese and our closing song.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for your love, Spirit. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your love, Spirit. Thank you for your love. Your healing, your healing, your healing love. Your healing, healing love. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Greatest